Hello everyone, now we have to discuss types of sources in a network. So, what is a source? Which can delivers the energy to the load, means which can delivers the energy to the network, outside network is nothing but a source. So, first we have to categorize those sources, later we will discuss those sources in detail. So, first we have to discuss the types. So, we have independent sources as well as dependent sources. So, in this independent sources we have voltage and current. So, we have voltage sources and current sources. So, in these voltage sources we have two types, that is ideal one, that is ideal voltage source, practical voltage source. So, like this, in this also ideal as well as practical current source. So, coming to dependent sources, we have voltage VCVS means what? Voltage controlled voltage source. Next, VCCS, that is voltage controlled current source. Next one is current controlled voltage source, that is current controlled voltage source. Next, last one is current controlled current source, CCCS, that is current controlled current source. So, these are the various types of sources. First, we have independent sources, next dependent sources. So, among these independent sources we have two types, that is voltage and current. In this voltage we have ideal one and practical one, as well as in both voltage and current. Like that, dependent sources we have voltage controlled voltage source, voltage controlled current source, current controlled voltage source, current controlled current source. So, we have to discuss these sources. First, we have to discuss independent sources. So, what is independent source? It can deliver the energy to the network on its own, means it does not depends on any electrical parameter. It can delivers the energy to the network on its own, that is it does not depends on any electrical parameter. So, next, what is the nature of this independent source? So, the nature of this independent source is nature this type of source is non-linear due to non-linear behavior of current and voltage. So, what is independent source? It can deliver the energy on its own, means it does not depends on any other electrical parameter. So, coming to the nature itself, it is non-linear. Why it is non-linear? Because the relation between voltage and current is non-linear. So, therefore, independent sources non-linear, unilateral and active. Therefore, independent sources are non-linear, unilateral and active. So, we have to prove this non-linear, unilateral, active. We have to prove this statement. So, we all know that the types of independent sources are what? So, first we have to discuss voltage source. Okay. First we have to discuss voltage source, that is ideal voltage source. Ideal voltage source. Later we will discuss practical voltage source. What is ideal voltage source? So, from here to here, that is nothing but load. Okay. This box is nothing but load. Based upon this voltage source Vs, there is a current, because this is a single loop, right. So, plus minus, because across any load or across any element, the supply voltage is from between these two terminals, we have supply voltage Vs. So, in any parallel network, the voltage is same, right. So, between these two terminals, the supply voltage is same, because there is no voltage drop from here to here. Between this point to this point, there is no voltage drop, right. That is why whatever may be the supply voltage, that should be appears between these two terminals, right. So, what is the value of voltage across this load? What is the value of across this load? Simple V load is nothing but Vs at the rate. What is the value of current? Current may be anything. So, the load voltage should be equals to supply voltage, whatever may be the current, the load voltage should be equals to supply voltage. Means, if the current value is negative, 0, positive or up to some extent, the value of supply voltage should be constant. The value of supply voltage should be constant between the load terminals is nothing but ideal voltage source. Whatever the changes in the circuit, that is constant. The value of the voltage source is constant, that should be equal to the load voltage. If Vs increase, load voltage should be increased. Whether the load may be R load, RL load, RLC load or RC load, whatever may be, the supply voltage should be equals to load voltage. This is about ideal voltage source. We will prove with practical example how it is maintained as constant, whether the current is positive or 0 or negative. With practical examples, we have to see. Okay. So, this is the supply voltage. Here I am considering 5 volts, okay, 5 volts. So, after these two terminals I am going to connect a load. Okay, again. So here I am, the branch is 5 ohm branch, this is say 1 amp, this is 1 amp and this is 4 amps. Okay. So up to this, so this block is nothing but, this part is nothing but load for this circuit. So for this voltage source we are connecting a load, that is 5 ohm branch is connected in parallel with a current source. Okay. So we do not know about KCL, but just for continuity we have to deal with this circuit with KCL. Okay. So see the first circuit, the current is leaving from this node, right? The current is leaving from this node, that is 1 amp. So across any element or any branch the voltage is same. Here the supply voltage is 5 volts, between these two the voltage is 5 volts. So obviously the voltage between these two terminals is 5 volts, because there is no voltage drop between these 2 points, right. Obviously whatever may be the voltage, that voltage should be equals to this voltage, that is plus minus 5 volts. So obviously the current through this branch is what? Voltage by resistance, that is 5 by 5, this is 1 amp, right. Then at this node leaving current is 1, again the leaving current is 1. So what is KCL? Sum of entering currents equals to sum of leaving currents. So leaving current is equals to 1 plus 1, then what is the entering current? It should be equals to 2 amps, right. 2 is equals to 1 plus 1, 2, KCL satisfied. 2 plus 2 equals to 2 is equals to 1 plus 1, KCL satisfied. So the current is what? I is equals to 2 amps. Like that, here the entering current is what? 1 amp. We all know this, this is 1 amp, because plus minus 5 volts. So at this node entering current is 1, leaving current is 1. So entering current is equals to 1, leaving current is equals to 1. Obviously KCL satisfied. Then what is the value of the current through this branch? It is 0 amps, right. It is 0 amps. Here it is 2 amps, here it is 0 amps. Then the current direction is what? 4 amps, this is 1 amp at this node. So entering current is equals to 4, leaving current is equals to 1. In order to satisfy KCL, 4 is equals to 1 plus 3. So obviously the current is nothing but 3 amps. Entering current equals to 4, leaving current is what? 1 plus 3, KCL satisfied. So what about this current? I is equals to the current towards voltage source is nothing but 3 amps, means what? Voltage source absorbs that current. So if the current direction is like this, that is 3 amps, then obviously if we change the current direction, then what is the value of current? Minus 3, right. Minus 3. Then here we have to analyze the circuit. See, from the first circuit the current is 2 amps, from the second circuit the current is 0 amps, from third circuit the current is 3 amps. That is, we have taken different types of loads. For different types of loads we are having different types of currents. We are having different types of current, but one parameter is constant. What is that parameter? That is the value of voltage source. The value of voltage source, that is load changes, current changes, but load changes, no? Load changes, depends upon load, the current changes, but one value is constant, that is voltage source value is remains constant. Voltage source value remains constant. This is very important observation, right. That is why this is what ideal. That is why this is what ideal voltage source means. For different types of load, we have different types of currents. So, in this case, load can have some value of current, the circuit can have some value of current, can have nothing in this case. It can have the ability to absorb the current. So, here for example, here the load requires some amount of current, it will give that current, that is 2 amps of current it will give source. Here the load does not require any value of current, that is why it will not provide any value of current from the source. So, here the load is having excessive amount of current, that is why this source can take care of that excessive amount of current, that is why it is having the ability to absorb that current. So, whatever may be the load, for different types of loads we have different types of currents, but one value is constant, that is voltage source value, but voltage source current value changes. So, this is very important observation. So, if load requires some amount of current it will give, if does not require any amount of current it will not give, if load is having excessive current it will take care of that excessive current, it will absorb that current. So, it can give, it can have nothing, it can absorb also, depends upon load requirement, it can give, it can have nothing, it can absorb, it can delivers, it is not delivering, it can absorb. That is the concept of ideal voltage source. So, depends upon this total analyzation, what is the voltage and current characteristics of this ideal voltage source. For this is load voltage, that is output voltage, this is the current. We are having positive current, 0 current, negative current, right. So, that is why here I am considering plus current and minus current. So, then tell me what is the characteristic? This is Vs, right. Whatever may be the current, the output voltage should be constant, which is equal to supply voltage, right, which is equal to supply voltage, that is it. This is the ideal voltage source characteristic. Then tell me from this, what is the nature of the voltage source? Is it non-linear or linear? Of course, from here to here we have straight line, but it is not passing through origin. So, this is non-linear. Next, is it active or passive? Obviously, this is active. Then tell me, is it unilateral or bilateral? So, there is no mirror images from first and third quadrant or second and fourth quadrant. So, this is unilateral. Right. So, this is the proof. So, ideal voltage source is non-linear, unilateral and active in nature. So, based on the observations, we have concluded two note points, that is load voltage offered by the ideal voltage source is independent of current flowing through it. Okay? That is whatever may be the load and we have different types of current, but the load voltage is constant, which is independent of current in it. Next, the current through the ideal voltage source can be positive, 0 or negative depending on the remaining part of the network. That is, the voltage source current value is not fixed, it will be changes with respect to load, it is variable, depends on the other part of the network. So, these two are very important note points. Next, we have to discuss practical voltage source. Then what is the difference between ideal voltage source, practical voltage source? In our universe, we do not have any ideal quantities, right? That is why we do not have 100% efficiency. That is why we do not have 100% efficiency for any electrical equipment. Why we are not getting 100% efficiency for any electrical equipment? Because of losses. Because of losses, we are not getting 100% efficiency. So, if we consider any practical equipment, that is, of course, we are using all practical equipments nowadays. So, for that we are getting less than 100% efficiency, right. So, that is why we have to deal with practical voltage source now. Then, in order to represent that loss component, we have to introduce a resistive branch. So, what is resistive branch? With respect to the resistive branch, we have to represent the loss quantity. That is why we have to introduce that resistive branch in the circuit. You all know that this is the voltage source, right? Independent voltage source. Up to this, the circuit looks like what? Ideal voltage source. But after this, we have introduced a resistive branch. Resistive branch. From here, we are connecting a load. Okay? Here we are connecting a load. The voltage between this is nothing but V naught, that is load voltage. The current through this branch is I. This is the supply voltage Vs. Okay? This is the resistive branch Rs. Okay? This could be called as internal resistance. Okay? Rs is nothing but internal resistance. Sir, why we are not connecting this resistive branch in parallel? Simple. If we connect resistive branch in parallel, what is the voltage between these two terminals? Whatever may be the supply voltage, that should be same here, no? Which is equals to Vs only. Which is equals to Vs only. Then what is the efficiency? Output voltage by input voltage, that is Vs by Vs1, that is 100% efficiency. Then it is a practical voltage source. Obviously, this is not practical voltage source. That is why we have to represent the loss component in series. Loss component in series. Then here, what is the output voltage? V naught is equals to this. We have some drop, no? Due to this resistive branch, we have some drop in the circuit, that is Vs minus I into Rs. Vs minus I into Rs. So, obviously, what is the efficiency here? Output voltage, that is Vs minus I into Rs by input voltage. Obviously, this is less than supply voltage, right? Which is less than supply voltage. So, obviously, we are not getting less than 100%. We are not getting 100%. We are getting obviously less than 100% efficiency. That is why it is called as practical voltage source. That is why we have to represent that loss component in series. We are not providing in parallel, because in any parallel network across the parallel branch, the voltage is same. This is the proof. Okay. So, from this, what is the output voltage? V naught is equal to, that is load voltage, simple loop, that is Vs minus I into Rs, I into Rs, right. That is, if we increase the value of the current, what is the output voltage? Decreases. So, for example, the output input supply voltage 100 minus I into resistance is, for example, 5 V naught. If we increase the value of current, what is the value of output voltage? Decrease, no? 100 minus, for example, 2 into 5, this is what? 100 minus 10, 90. Now, second case, 100 minus, it is what? 4 into 5, this is what? 20, 80. See, increase 2 to 4, we are increasing current. What about the voltage? Decrease, right? Whatever the voltage, output voltage decreases. See, for example, if we consider a circuit, up to this the circuit is same. Here I am considering a resistive load, okay, resistive load. This is RS, this is 1 ohm, this is 20 volts, okay, we are considering a 20 volts. Next, again one more circuit. Again this is what, 1 ohm, this 20 volts. Here I am providing a 4 ohm branch. Now here it is 9 ohm branch. Then from these two circuits, what is the value of the current? What is the value of the current? Simple loop, no? From this I is equals to what? 20 by 5, 20 by 1 plus 4, 5, which is equals to 4 amps. From this, what is the value of current I? 20 by 1 plus 9, 20 by 1 plus 9, which is equals to what? 2 amps, right? What about the output voltage? V naught is equals to Vs minus I into Rs, which is equals to, what is the value of supply voltage? 20 minus, for the first case, what is the value of current? 4 into Rs value is what? 1, which is equals to what? 20 minus 5, 15 volts. Okay, for this 4 amps of current, we have 15 volts. Again, like that, for this, what is V naught? 20 minus, what is the value of I? 2 into, and what is the value of Rs? Into 1, which is equals to 18 volts. See, if you increase the current from 2 to 4, what about the output voltage? Decrease, no? For 2 amps of current, the output voltage is 18 volts. For 4 amps of current, the output voltage is what? 15 volts. By increasing the value of the current, obviously we are getting the decreasing value of voltage. So based upon these observations, what is the VI characteristic? What is the VI characteristic? This is the output voltage. This is the supply voltage. This dotted marks are nothing but supply voltage, that is constant one. No? Then this is current I. V naught is equals to Vs minus I into Rs. If we increase the current, whatever the output voltage decreases. If we increase the current, the output voltage decreases. Then this is the curve. V naught is equals to Vs minus I into Rs. This is the VI characteristics of practical voltage source considering resistive load, that is the resistive load. Okay. If we consider ideal voltage source, for ideal voltage source, if the load is pure resistive load, the output voltage and current characteristic is like this, right? Constant. Next we have to discuss some observations. We all know that, what is the equation? V naught is equals to Vs minus I into Rs, right? This is the output voltage for an practical voltage source, that is V naught is equals to Vs minus I into Rs. If I is equals to 0, if I is equals to 0, what about voltage source? Vs equals to Vs, V naught is equals to Vs, right? That is, if current is 0, the circuit is what? Open circuit, that is C, supply voltage, and we have internal resistance, we have a load, right? This is the actual practical circuit. Here, when current is 0, the output voltage should be equals to supply voltage. This is the internal resistance Rs. Current is 0 means I is 0 means what? There is no closed path in the circuit, that is the meaning. If the current is 0, there is no closed path in the circuit. That is why there is a closed path in the circuit, obviously there is a current. If the current is 0, there is no closed path in the circuit, means the circuit is open circuited. That is, these two terminals are open circuited. That is why there is no current through this branch. The bridge is under construction. Okay. So, current is 0. If current is 0, there is no voltage drop. Due to this internal resistance, there is no voltage drop due to RS. Therefore, obviously V naught is equals to Vs. Whatever may be the supply voltage, that should be equals to the output voltage. Whatever may be the supply voltage, that should be equals to the output voltage, because current is 0. Therefore, there is no voltage drop due to the internal resistance. Therefore, V naught is equals to Vs. This is the first observation. Means the output voltage of practical voltage source is dependent on the current flowing through it. What about ideal voltage source? The output voltage in ideal voltage source is independent of the current flowing through it. Whatever may be the voltage, the corresponding value is constant. Output value should be equals to Vs. But here this practical voltage source is dependent on the current flowing through it. Here it is 0, that is why V naught equals to Vs. Here for example 1 amp, obviously the output voltage changes, no? V naught is equals to Vs minus I into Rs. If it is 0, Vs. For example, if it is 1 amp, obviously Vs, we are getting some different voltage rather than this voltage. It should not equals to Vs. Obviously, for practical voltage source, the load voltage should depends upon the current flowing through it. But for ideal voltage source, whatever may be the current, the load voltage should be equals to the supply voltage. That is it. Next, second observation. Second observation. If Rs is equals to 0, if Rs is equals to 0, then the circuit becomes, this is Vs, previously we have what? This is load, plus minus, this is the supply voltage, sorry, output voltage, this is Rs, right? If Rs equals to 0 means what? There is no resistance in the path, obviously short circuited. This is short circuited, no? Short circuited. Then we have to represent it with what? Simple short circuited between these two. So, the current is I. If Rs equals to 0, what about the output voltage, which is equals to Vs, right? Because there is no drop in the circuit, because R is equals to 0, that is short circuited, between the resistive branch is short circuited. That is why output voltage should be equal to supply voltage. This is nothing but what? The circuit looks like what? Ideal voltage source. The circuit looks like what? Ideal voltage source. Therefore, what is the very important point here? For an ideal voltage source, the internal resistance is 0. This is very, very important point. For a for an ideal voltage source, the internal resistance is 0, Rs. The last component which we are introduced in the circuit is 0. Then only it is called as ideal voltage source, right? These are the two important observations. First one, based upon this equation, if current is 0, V naught is equals to Vs. If current increases gradually, the output voltage changes. If I is 0, obviously this is open circuited, there is no drop. So, V naught is equals to Vs in this condition. So, in for an any practical voltage source, the output voltage should depends on the current through it. For a ideal voltage source, whatever may be the current, the output voltage should be equal to supply voltage. That is why we are getting like this. But here we are having, due to resistive load, we are having like this. Next, second observation is what? If Rs equals to 0, means current, there is no resistive resistance branch in the path, so current is free to flow, means whatever may be the supply voltage, that should be appears across the load, that is V naught equals to Vs. That is for an ideal voltage source, the internal resistance is 0.